Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Ian. As you're probably aware, we haven't been motorhoming for very long. We've owned a motorhome, in fact 2 motorhomes, for about 15 months now, and we've been actively motorhoming for about 12 months, and we've thoroughly enjoyed it, and we absolutely love the life. As newbies, when we started out, there was a minefield of information out there, and it took a lot of getting my head around to understand various things. So I thought it might be of use, especially for any new motorhomers out there, or prospective new motorhomers, to do a video, and possibly a series of videos on basic stuff that you find out when you're new to motorhoming, and things that are truly important to know. So hopefully this one will explain something about the license requirements and the weights of your motorhome. So let's get on with the video. So the first thing I want to talk about is the driving license. Those of us who got our licenses before 1997 have on our license what's known as a C1. And what the C1 allows you to do is drive a vehicle up to 7.5 tons. In 1997 that was changed, and anybody with a license since then doesn't have that C1 on their license, which means that they can only drive up to 3,500 kilograms or 3.5 metric tons on their license. For that reason, most motorhomes are sold as 3.5 tons. So how do you know about the weights of your motorhome and what you're allowed? Let me explain a few of the terms. You'll hear a couple of terms, the first one being MTPLM, and that's the maximum technically permissible laden mass. Put in English, that is the maximum weight your motorhome can be. The other one you'll hear is MRO, which is mass in running order, and this is the weight of the vehicle as it leaves the factory in its standard form. Now I have a Bailey motorhome, and Bailey state this: within the quoted MRO figure there's an allowance made for essential habitation equipment, which consists of the following: vehicle driver 75 kilograms, 90% fuel tank capacity, that's 81 kilograms, 1 full gas bottle at 14 kilograms, and fluids in an Aldi heating system when fitted, 10 kilograms. And the MRO is calculated with the freshwater tank empty. It's not recommended that you travel with water in the freshwater tank, but if you choose to do so, then your available payload will reduce accordingly. You'll note that the passenger isn't included in that either. So how is payload defined? Well, payload is the difference between the MTPLM, or the maximum weight your vehicle can be, which for my vehicle is 3,500 kilograms, and the MRO, or the mass in running order, which includes the allowances I mentioned before, which on my van is 3,075 kilograms. That means that I have a payload of 425 kilograms. Now that sounds an awful lot, but it actually isn't that much. Bear in mind that I have a 100-litre freshwater tank. Water is 1 kilogram per litre, so it doesn't take a mathematician to work out that that could be 100 kilos just on its own. You've got a passenger to think of, and some drivers, like me, are a little more than 75 kilos, so you have that to work out. On top of that, you've got your bedding, you've got your food, your stuff in the fridge, essential items, all of those kinds of things, and it's amazing how quickly it adds up. Some motorhomes don't have the payload that ours does. There could be lots of reasons for that, It could be that you've got 2 drop-down beds, maybe the vehicle's longer, maybe there's an end lounge or an end bedroom. There's lots of reasons why you may not have as much payload, because your MRO is higher. So what do you do in that situation? Well, you can up plate, as it's known. The chances are that the reason your vehicle has been set at 3.5 tonnes is purely to get around the licence issue since 1997. So you can up plate. Our vehicle, for example, will go up as much as 4.1 tonnes. And in order to do so, you need to contact the DVLA. Now, there are firms like SV Tech that will do this for you, but it is possible to do it yourself. Now, if you do up plate, of course, the issue is that you're going to need a C1 licence. If you haven't got that already, you'll need to take a test in order to do it. Also, if you get to the age of 70, you will need to take a medical assessment in order to keep your C1 licence. Of course, if you find out that you need to downplate at any time, you can also do that. So how do you actually know how much your van weighs? Well, the simple answer is to use a weighbridge. There are lots of weighbridges out there, and you can find them at quarries, pet food centres, all kinds of places. There are also council weighbridges. Usually you can get your vehicle weighed for as little as nothing and as much as £10. It's not expensive to do. A lot of weighbridges will allow you to weigh each individual axle as well, which is truly useful. I got my vehicle weighed as I picked it up, and I got it weighed again when I had it fully loaded up, so I know exactly how much payload we've actually used. I should point out that your van being overweight can lead to points on your licence, and in extreme cases it can invalidate your insurance, so it's important to know that you're not overweight. Now, it may seem an obvious thing to state, but when you're loading your van, make sure that the heavy weight is at the floor level, and the higher up you go, the lighter the weight. That way the centre of gravity of your vehicle is kept low, it will be easier and safer to drive, and it will handle much better. Well, I hope you found that interesting and useful. Please let me know in the comments. I've tried to keep the topic as simple as possible and related to one topic rather than trying to cover too much in one video. And there will be other videos coming along as soon as I get the opportunity to film them. Thanks to all the new subscribers and all the existing subscribers. And do give me a thumbs up on the video if you've enjoyed the content. Until the next time, thanks very much for watching. Cheerio.